Abusia, sometimes we hear about African spirituality and we are a bit confused about it. Is it all about cutting goat's head and sheep's and even some people say human beings' head? Is it all about is it all about tukpe and the rest? What actually is African spirituality? We want to know what our ancestors, what were they actually doing? Do we understand what they were doing? Because you and I know that they were passing information through to others through theory. They were not actually writing anything down. So what we are doing, if they should come right now, would they say we've done well and that we are doing what they wanted to do, or we understand what we are doing on their behalf in the name of let's go back to our ancestors? That's what we are going to discuss today. I welcome you to the biggest spiritual platform. You are watching the biggest, the largest, the highest, the greatest, the tallest, and the toughest African spiritual platform. I'm Queen Hadasha. Call me Empress Makida. Don't forget, I am the Sun Goddess. Call me the Spear of Destiny. I am the true bloodline. Call me the Woman of Peace. I respond to all these names: Jezebel, Mame Water, Gaia, Bnabole. My Nigeria people are now calling me Asa. I welcome you to another great episode. Today, I am a bit in a kind of vibration because the topic I'm seeing here, I think, will answer all my questions and answer your own questions too. I welcome you. Today, we have one of the greatest on set. His name is like 1 million. If I knew, I would have eaten pepper before coming. So I'm able to mention that. I'll mention a few. My people, our guest for today is His Eminency, Chief Dr. Ni Osabu Baffour Awuah Mpese the First. That's his name, and he's Soutuom Mpese Jase. Hey, Jase King Maker. I mean, let me leave this one for him to introduce because it's, like I said, 1 million. And I've not eaten pepper. I welcome you, Papa. We welcome you to Revelations.
Thank you.
Great. Today is your first time.
Yes,
and because
please.
you have 1 million, your name and titles is a whole A4 sheet, front and back. Introduce yourself to us. Who are you?
Okay, that's a very good question. Who am I? I am just the embodiment of the Supreme Being, God in flesh, just like each and everyone is. Like I always tell people, your first master is your soul. Your first teacher is your soul. My name from Bantama is Baffour Awuah Amankwetia. Kwabna Baffour Awuah Amankwetia. I'm the grandson of Baffour Amankwetia Bantamahini.
Okay.
My grandmother is Bantamahima and my grandfather is Bantamahini. So I'm the Bantama Pudio Nana. Pudio is the black stool of Bantama. My father, Kwame Jeuchem, was the son of the Pudio, so that makes me the grandson of the Pudio. So, if I come to Accra, the title that I have in Accra is the Ni Osabu Baffour Awuah Mpese the First, which is the Soutuom Mpese Jase, the Soutuom Mpese Kingmaker. And then, if you go to Benin, my title is Oba Kabiesi Pawulenu Alomazi the First. I am the Oba Ghana of Benin. I am the king of all Ghanaians in Benin.
Okay.
Yes, last 2 years, that is the title that they gave me. They did a whole ceremony to make me the king of every Ghanaian in Benin. I'm the first Ghanaian to be installed as a king in Benin. And I'm also the Oba Kabiesi Pawulenu Alomazi the First in Tongoji Islands, Badagry in Nigeria. So I have kingship in Benin. I have kinship in Nigeria. I have over 10 acres of land that the Republic of Benin gave us to set up a diasporan village in Benin. So last 2 years, I went with my people in Benin. And after Kwame Nkrumah raised the flag of Ghana in Benin, I was the second person to raise the flag of Ghana in Benin. And I'm Ghana's biggest cultural export in the Republic of Benin. But unfortunately, Ghana is now really prone to promoting its cultural artifacts and its cultural personality. So we lose out on a lot of, say, income, foreign exchange that comes with culture. So if you ask me who I am, these are just a few of the titles that I answer by. And who really is Nana B? That Nana B is the popular name that everybody calls me. That is where those that are extremely close to me, that is the simplified name they call me, Nana B. That's Nana Baffour.
Nana B?
Yes, Nana B.
I think I've heard this name before.
That's me.
Welcome.
That's it. Thank you.
Abusia, I'm happy that is my brother. My brother from the other mother. He's a Ghanaian. And the fact that he's a Ghanaian is my brother. And I don't know him. But the fact that he's achieving titles, he's my brother. He doesn't want what is good. So, brother, we welcome you to Revelations.
Thank you very
much. You are
much.
a king, but you are our brother.
Yes,
we are proud of you. We welcome you to Revelations, the biggest and the largest. Okay, so I will ask you a few questions before we get into your main topic. People will ask, what are we discussing today? Like I said, it's a great topic. He's discussing scientific interpretations of African spiritual system. This is huge. So I wish I could go straight, but I want us to know him more. Okay, so what brought about all these titles? What brought about them? Is it an organization that placed you there, or is because you live in Benin, moved to Nigeria, and how did you come about all these titles?
I have really worked. I have worked. If you go back 15 years ago, 20 years ago, there was no youth in Ghana who was on national television talking about African spiritual system. I was the one that started all this. And they know, Nana B, everybody who is of any value now, any youth who has the opportunity to speak on national television on Akom and African spiritual system, we took the bullet first. So I've been working here in Ghana. I've been a part of the Chalewote Street Art Festival from its inception. I've been a part of the Halakasa Poetry Movement from its inception. I've been a part of the Black Star International Film Festival from its inception. So all the major art movements in Ghana, I have actually been a founding member of all those movements. So I have put in the work already. These entitlements in Benin came when I had the opportunity to work with the community of Ajara, which is in Porto Novo, near Porto Novo. And I had opportunity through the Ghana Embassy in Benin. And they were looking to partner Ghanaians, and somebody recommended me to them. So I was invited over there, and I met the mayor, I met the regional minister, I met the MPs in Benin, and I asked them to show me what they have. So they took me around, they showed me all the mysteries that they had, and I made a proposition, and I came up with a plan for them. So if you show me what you have, I can show you how you can monetize that, how you can make this thing, how you can put value to it. So the people of Benin gave me accreditation, fully accredited as their arts and cultural ambassador under the Ministry of Local Governance. So I have all those accreditations, I have my paperwork intact as the official ambassador of the Republic of Benin. In the last 2 years, I brought 50 people from Benin, including their Zangbeto, including their Egungun, all the mysteries of Benin. For the first time in their history, since the world was created, they don't travel with those things. But for the first time in their history, I made them to move those things from to Ghana. I'm going to display. They came to Chalewote, they came to Soutum Homo Festival, we went to the Tigari Shrine. So I also organized the priests and priestesses and the powerful people on the mountains. I brought people from the north, 50 people from the north to, let's test ourselves. So they showed their power, we also showed our power. They gave us some energies here, and then we also gave them some energies to take back to Benin. So I exchange more on levels of chieftaincy, and we do cultural exchanges and also spiritual exchanges. So it's based on me taking them from Benin to Ghana and the effort that I put in, and then me taking 52 people from Ghana to Benin last 2 years for the Vodun Festival. That included some members of parliament, I don't want to mention their names, some paramount chiefs, I don't want to mention, 52 people from Ghana to Benin. So based on these works that I'm doing with them and the number of delegations that have crossed along the borders, that is why they decided to make me the Obakabiesi Kwawulenu Alomazi. So the Kpawulenu Alomazi is the twin name of the king. The king is Kpotehu Alamaku. And then the twin name is the Kpawulenu Alomazi. So the king gave me a twin name to his name. And then they made me the king of all Ghanaians.
So it is your work that
it is my work
taking you this far.
Yes, please.
Congratulations. Yes, I appreciate.
Thank you.
You are putting our name there positively, and everybody that knows me know that I love such things. So right now you are a king.
Yes,
we know. What is your spirituality?
First and foremost, it's universal. And then if we are to break it down and trickle it down, my spiritual system that I practice is more or less African traditional. However, the African tradition or African traditional system is so open and so inclusive of all the other religious and philosophical systems. Because in African traditional system, Hinduism is accepted, Buddhism is accepted, Shintoism is accepted, Christianity is accepted, Islam is accepted. Every other religion that mentions God in any other form or in any other way is accepted in African traditional system. So one, I am African traditional, however, my universal scope is very interfaith.
So you do everything?
So when people come to me, if you come to me right now, because what happened is that I traveled around, I studied under the Latter-day Saints, I've studied with the Bobo Shantis, I've studied with the Hindus in India. I've gone to India to study in the Himalaya mountains. I've studied with the Sadhus. I've gone to Tibet to study with the Buddhist monks. I've been to Nepal, the birthplace of Lord Buddha, to study. I've studied Sufism from Ghana, Burkina Faso, Mali, Senegal, Gambia, and Mauritania. I've studied Islamic Sufism. I have dedicated all my life studying all the different spiritual systems and religions. And at the end of the day, it all came back to the African tradition, because everything that I was searching for just gave me a better understanding of where I was standing.
So you are universal. I
am very universal.
So now, right now, you are telling us everything is everything that mentions God.
Yes,
is in one thing.
Yes, please.
Which God are you referring to?
The God, we have one God with different names. We have Onyankopon, we have Olodumare, we have Jehovah, we have some people call it El Shaddai, we have Onyankopon, we have Atana Nyumo, we have Mau. It is just one name, one spirit, one energy, but that energy manifests in different places, and when it manifests based on the tribe or the environment that it manifests, it must come with a name that is conducive to that environment. And that energy is interpreted based on the environment. So if that energy manifests itself along the shoreline, they're going to use the sea as a central base of worship. If that energy manifests in the jungle, they're going to use the herbs and the trees. If that energy manifests in the Sahara, then they have to use the sand. So based on your environment and how you will understand the universal cosmic power called God, there is not one specific name for God. God is just one entity, pure energy, but it is transmitted and then explained and then manifested differently to everybody, to every environment, to every clan, and then to every society. So based on that, then they have to find a way to define it based on their understanding or our understanding. So
the God you are talking about, that has millions of names.
Yes.
Does he want mankind to worship him?
God wants mankind to be like him.
So what is the difference between God wanting mankind to be like him and mankind worshiping God? What's the difference?
When mankind worshiping God is what brings about religion and religious differences. You understand? Now, if me and you can ascend to the heights of the Most High, if me and you can ascend into that Frimpong Mansun, because for us to ascend into that heights, we need something that in African tradition, in Akan, your friend Bibi's Frimpong Mansun, right? Frimpong Mansun is not a name. It's not just an ordinary name. It's a combination of 4 different words. Ofri, Impong, Nema, Makumakunson. Ofrimpong, anyone. Who is Ofrimpong? Ofri, out of. impugn greatness. So the great one and the 7 great spirits, those are the 7 great angels, the 7 great archangels. The 7 chakra points are the 7 archangels. The 7 chakras that align. You understand? So once you are able to move from the base chakra to the crown chakra now, then you begin to emit and manifest the attributes of God. Why? Because then you begin to do more good. When you begin to do more good, you begin to reflect God. Because when you take O out of good, it becomes God. When you begin to reflect more of the negative aspects of life and you begin to reflect more of the evil nature, if you add D to evil, it becomes devil. So based on where based on where you give much more energy, you will become like that. So if me and you are practicing a lot of good, we all become gods. If we are practicing lots of evil, then we all become devils. So God actually wants us, or the Creator wants us to be a perfect reflection of Himself so that we can control this universe. We can control this earth. You understand? It's just like being an ambassador. Me and you are ambassadors of the Creator. Everything God can do, me and you can do. God can create human being. Me and you too can create human being.
So it means we don't have to worship Him.
We have to worship. When we say worship is an English word right now. Now, when I take the words, I like to break the English words into our own local language so that we understand it. When I say worshiper, it means Osun. Worship is different from veneration. Osun is different from veneration. The worship, right now, I'm with you. Let's say your crew, right? They do service for you, right? They wash for you, they clean for you, they film for you, they do this for you, they sweep. Almost sumu. So worship in its truest form, no. And no. Worship in its truest form is service. Me sum, yes sum, and only say yes sum nyame. O sum nyame. I say utumi sum unia. I say utumi sum nipa. And sana utumi asum nyame because nipa nyankopon na pese pleasing no. Ono an ogina we nim no. Wo na wote ho no man nyankopon na me pese ni pleasing wo a me hu no. Wa unie. Inti me sum wa ma sum nyame, me sum yi a ma sum nyame.
Je nyese me ko butu ba bia na me ya ablution.
Nyame no wa ha. Nyame no ewa ha, but obia wo kwan a what I say you obu ho no mo a on bonfire. Somebody doesn't even pray, but everything they think of it comes to manifest because they were born with a very high vibrational frequency. There are some people who they are born with low vibrational frequency that they need to work on to raise that frequency to be able to attract what they need or to manifest what needs to be manifested. So yes, some people need to go through the ritual worship system to get them to that level. Some people are already on that level. They just need to realize and just sum mankind, because that's why we say for God, service to God and country.
So looking at those who are going through a step like Allahu Akbar for, and you said Rabababas for, it's just a process for them to get through to the level.
get to the Osum level, get to the spiritual level.
That's what I mean.
Religion,
so looking at, you are Ghanaian, so let's use here.
Yes, please.
You are Ghanaian and you've been roaming Africa. So let me add Africa to it. Since you have a lot of titles, and answer this question sincerely for me. People are watching you. Looking at the Rababa and the ablution people and the rest, what they are doing, is it really leading them to where they are supposed to be, like you said?
There are some people who have, like, let's say, for instance, me, from my experience, let's say those that do the Allahu Akbar, I will tell you that it's only about 20% to 30% of them who that Allahu Akbar is taking them to where they need to be. You know why? Because before you even start the Allahu Akbar, when you do the ablution, you understand, I'm coming to say something that 90% of Muslims don't know. When you do the ablution, you're washing your hands, you're washing your mouth, you're washing your nose, you're washing your face, and all those things. You wash your crown chakra. All that you are doing is a purification of the senses. Sense of touch, sense of taste, sense of smell, sense of sight, your ear, sense of hearing. It's just to activate your senses of your 5 senses before you go into that mode. You understand? To be able to communicate with your supreme. But if you don't know that what you are actually doing is an activation of your own senses before you get ready to go to the, meet your maker or get ready to go into that moment, you have missed the point. You have paid your dues, but you have missed the point. But the Sufis, they understand exactly what they are doing. So when a Sufi goes Allahu Akbar, by the time we to Rakano, blessing now we are normal Muslim. What I say, no 200 times because I didn't know what see the oil and I say, but what you and so that is another way. And then see them can kind of obiane the level everyone what will take them or what they need to go through to have an understanding of how the universe works. Some people are at the religious level. Some people are at the spiritual level. And then some people are at the humanitarian level.
Where are we supposed to get to? What is the ultimate? The
ultimate is to get to the humanitarian level.
So how many percentage in Africa?
Yeah, I would say very few. I cannot put a percentage, but very few people that I have really personally met them who are on the humanitarian level, who have transcended religion and have transcended spirituality, and now they are vibrating strictly on humanitarian level.
So there are only a few that have gotten to that level?
Yes, that I have personally experienced.
So what is it causing us for us not getting to that level? Yes. What is it causing us as a continent?
What is causing us is because now we have become very rigid. And because we do not understand what we do, and we do not understand the science behind it, we do not understand the theoretical IQ of what we are doing, we just do it for doing sake. Like for instance, I was asking somebody now that they be spiritual. Yes, every human being is spiritual. When they say spiritual or spirituality, what is it? Spirituality is a combination of two words. Spirit and rituals. Spirit and rituals. When you put spirit and rituals together, you get spiritual. Now, spiritual is having a set of rituals, ceremonies that you do to activate your spirit. There are some people, they have to wake up, go on their knees, and then they have to pray as a ritual to activate their spirit. Some people also have to pour libation, you understand, as a ritual to activate their spirit. Some people also have to do the ablution and do the Allahu Akbar as a ritual to activate their spirit. But that is not the ultimate. The activation of the spirit through the rituals is supposed to lead you to another door. It's not supposed to. That is what you are doing is not the ultimate. The ritual and the ceremony is not the ultimate.
What is the other door?
The other door is an unseen door that you will have to feel within yourself. It's something that you have to be in a state of perfect meditation so that your spirit can be able to take you through that door to let you see the essence of what you are doing. Other than that, you will just see that ritual that you are doing as the ultimate, because when you do the ritual and that activates your spirit, you will find some results. You are going to have some very beautiful spiritual experiences, and then you might be caught, or you could be caught in that range thinking that that is the ultimate, but that is only the results of the ritual that you perform. But that is supposed to give you faith enough for you to move on to the level of humanity whereby there's no religion, whereby you are dealing strictly with the soul, because everyone has a soul in them. The soul has no religion.
So what can we do right now? You said a few are getting through to that. They are still here in class 1. What is it causing Africa? What is that behavior? We're not getting to the peak of spirituality or humanity, like you said.
Yeah.
What is it causing us?
That's the disadvantages that is causing it. It's lack of development. First and foremost, we are not developing because, okay, let me tell you something. The first time I went into a shrine, ever in my life, even though I come from a traditional home, but, we also grew up as Christians, as Catholics. But then the first time I went to a fully blown shrine, traditional home that I saw deities, I saw ceremonies, I saw sacrifices. Do you know the people that took me? 2 Italian doctors, and 2 Swiss scientists. It was white people that introduced me into this. It was 2 Italian doctors who initiated me into this African spiritual system. Because we have not understood the value of what we have. So when they come, they see what we have, they take whatever we have, and then they go back, add a scientific processing to it, research on it, see what it can help to develop for them. But yeah, we have thrown it away, and then we are actually chasing after things that do not have direct bearings with us. And if you don't have a direct bearing, it's very difficult for the transmission of information. So there's always a gap.
Lower vibration. But
Abrofuna me introduce you, do you know exactly what they were looking for?
They were not doing to pay.
Do you know what they were looking for? These Italian medical students, they were doing their PhD, and they needed to create something for the PhD. They needed to create something different. So they went to India, and they were looking for motia to create that what they were looking for. And the guru told them, no, I didn't want to know, this is Ghana. And they came to Ghana, and that's when I met them. So it was these white people who started to really introduce me to show me how motia even works in that their Abrofuno. So after they left, it was a big indictment. I felt very shameful after working with them for 2 weeks. And I was like, I felt very useless. I felt really, really useless. There was something that I was very challenging. Me say, I mean, tell them, me say me a champion. And I brought for free, baby. So they started showing me. So white people who actually led me to this.
So they came to look for motia for their project. What do we look for motia for?
I know besides them, some people look for motia for destructive purposes. Some also use it for healing purposes, but even with their healing purposes, I don't think we have really taken the motia level to the next level, because if you go to India, they've taken the motia level to the level whereby they are developing applications out of the motia. So all you have to do is just put in your name, Maame Grace, the app, but a motia power. What I say, but we've not been able to develop it, like I say, to the level whereby it is scientifically approved and accepted, you understand, by the whole world. So this is why people told me, they asked me, how do you think we make the plane fly? How do you think we make the ship, big ship, tons, float on water? He says that under their where they have their big industries, they have secret societies under, and there are people who are underground for like 10 to 15 years. They've never come out. All they do is they are in constant communication with spirit. So what are we? Why
they came here for it? We have them here. Why are we vibrating on lower part? The DNA vibrate. Is it not religion?
Religion is a major part of it. Religion is a major part, because religion has made us to disassociate ourselves with things that are conducive to us, and then religion has also, to a large extent, disconnected us from our real power. And no matter how we advance, to me, advance is saying, master. But you can't advance more than your master. But we can be the highest and the best if we are standing in the master our. And don't need so many bread or no master.
Say they are communicating in and destination here.
My destination is just simple. My destination is to bring enlightenment from a very scientific point of view. Is to bring, because we are actually in the process
that
of
is
setting
your
up
achievement. That is your goal.
Yeah.
That is your goal. Your destination. So who are and I'm making.
Oh, sorry.
Because Christopher destination is heaven. Cremo for destination is 72 virgins. What is your destination?
Yes, my destination, when I pass, I'm going to be part of the ether. I'm going to be part of the air you breathe. I'm going to be part of, the nutrients, that nourishes the air. Oh, for sure. For sure. I'm just going to be a part of the universe, and then your name becomes immortal, because right now we are moving into the levels of immortality. My destination is immortality. To create something or to be in a position whereby they will mention your name in the same length and breadth as Kwame Nkrumah. That's an immortal. You understand? When we mention names like Jomo Kenyatta, it's an immortal. The name of Konfanochi would never ever go off the history. Or you're immortal. As long as they mention God and people remember to mention God, they always remember to mention Konfanochi. Oh, you're immortal. So I want to be an immortal. That is where my destination, yes.
I didn't take you to become an immortal.
Like my father always used to say, if you to become an immortal, you have to live for the people. Because when you die and you live for yourself, the people will not remember you. But when you live for the people, even when you pass, they will always speak about you. And the more they speak about you, your spirit continues to be invoked. Then you still become present amongst them. So that is where immortality.
My last question, there we go. You've been roaming in Africa with titles upon titles. The borders in Africa, the hate in us. What is causing that? What can we do about it?
Because we don't have love for each other. Because we've been made not to love each other. We've been made, first and foremost, you've been made not to love yourself. Why? You've been made not to love the food we eat. We've been made not to love the clothes we wear. We've been made not to love our culture, our tradition. We've been made not to even love anything that comes from here. So we as a people, we have very low self-love for ourselves. And if you have low self-love, then that creates low self-esteem. So internally, we don't even love our own self. So it's easier for me not to love you. So if you go through the borders and there's all this wahala and it's just because as a people, as black people, as Africans, we've still not seen the need for us to be able to just communicate and just go through these borders. Because if you go to Volta and then if you go to Togo, the woman here in Togo in Lome, her cousin is from Aplao. They are cousins. Same mother, same father, that family, you understand? But you have to go through all this rigmarole and all this hula baloo. At the end of the day, it's just self-hate. We've been programmed to so much hate ourselves that anything that can elevate us from the African perspective is looked on as evil. It's evil. Anything from the African perspective is evil. We will rather sit back and allow our masters, quote unquote, colonial masters to dictate how our spirit needs to be, how our movement needs to be. And the reason why we are also like that, one thing I need to make clear on this program. Do you know in Ghana, I don't know about the rest of Africa, in Ghana, every castle and every fort, every slave castle and every fort was built on a shrine? Mm-hmm. Yeah. In Cape Coast, they built the castle on their shrine. And then if you go to James Fort, it was built on their shrine. If you go to Asha Fort, it was built on their shrine. The Anomabu shrine, the Anomabu castle is built on everywhere where there is power. They built that. So why would they target the shrine first to build? How do you call it? The slave fort. That is the source of our power. How do we take these people away? Let's go straight and attack what gives them power. Like this man said, what's the name? That came from Belgium. King Leopold, when he sent the missionaries, he said, don't go talk to them about God. These people know God already. Just dissuade them from their understanding of God and show them our way. So that is where we are, my dear. That is where we are.
So what do we do? What do we do?
Yeah, what we have to do first and foremost at this particular moment, we have to put in structure, start to teach these things in the universities like the way South Africa is doing now. Now South Africa has a curriculum where they teach the Akom in the university. So to be an Okonfokra in South Africa, now you have to go to university. So go to the university, you get an Akom certificate. You do a full doctorate. Or no what whoever you are, no what Tinasia, of tripping or tripping. We but our pen and our sound bodia. What I say. So that is where we need to, because in ancient Egypt, the priests that we have now, they are in Koso. Most of the things you see is in Koso. This is not the original. The original Nankasano a knowledge system. A knowledge. You need to be of high intellectual IQ to be a priest or a priestess. Priest and priestesses no nye sebi mano de sumina so enye inkrasi nya onye inkrasified there unquote. You have to say priests and priestesses are supposed to be the highest ranking people in the community. The king always bows to the priest because the king cannot lead the priest. It's the priest that leads the king. It's the priest that leads the king in public. Into a banisen and you know, priest now be the ohinechi instead of ohine be the priest nechi. What I say. So there's a lot of disparities.
Yo, right now, wait, oh, right now, no. Should I reserve this question?
Yeah, let's go all out.
Should ask?
Let's go all out.
Right now, no. All the so you see shrines, you see Mwetia, right? Because the people introduce you into it. All these shrines and Mwetia and everything that we have here in Ghana, what is their feelings about homosexualism and lesbianism?
Homosexuality and lesbianism, first and foremost, everything that is against the norms of our culture is actually dictated by the deities. They are the ones that set the rules. So if there are certain things that any environment does not appreciate or does not promote or does not accept, it is not the people in that environment that have come up with those rules. It is the deities in that environment that come up with the rules. So with the whole trumu issue and all those things, you know, that is totally against the course of nature, and that is anything that is against the course of nature is totally against what the Motia approves of.
So I said they set the rules. They don't like it. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Now they are doing it everywhere, every corner. What are they going to do about it? That's the question.
Okay. Yeah. There's a question. There's a saying that says, the spirits do not fight the battles of men. The spirits do not fight for things that you are capable of doing. But they can set rules. You set rules and you can't fight it. So what's the essence? Let me tell you something. Like for instance, somebody was asking, oh, why did the ancestors why were they taken into slavery if these deities
are powerful? Exactly.
Now let me tell you why. Now the moment me and you or everybody in this room agrees, the moment we all agree that this is the source of our power, and we all come and we ritualize it, and then we centralize power here, it will begin to work for us. The moment me and you, we begin to disassociate from this, you understand, this will be non-functional. Any God that is not worship or people don't vibrate on is not God. We know that. So are they not here anymore? They are here, but they say and they say rules in the trip. There be rules no. Rules no but if you are in that society, you are very close with them in their conclave, and I said the enclave now, you know, those rules bind you. But according to say on a general level, no, there are certain rules and regulations. Majority of the majority have gone out of order. You know, in ancient days, the reason why it was so powerful is that the majority always put their focus. That's what I'm saying. They were vibrating on it. Africa be oh yes. By how many years in it? To say what I say now, enlightenment it's taking us 400 years to be here. You know, the what I say now a major spark. What you have started is a major spark, because for that revolution that we are looking for to be able to be possible, no, it has to start from here. You need to spark something in their mind, and that's what you are doing. Your platform. It is no more penam sir. Moja. Me arguing say me person me who. There be any date behind the pemoja. Nti wa mo na pemoja. Yo to say amu say nipa ebu onu elo behind the pemoja nam. Enyo bia so na otumpu pemoja. Why mo na pemoja na I want to know. Your date is bo onu ma omu ye suman Baffour. Yeah, they are warrior spirits. So the warrior spirits, most of the time, 99.9% of the time, omobeji moja. And your spirits born man, he said these marine spirits, Maame watani motiani sama for no mundi moja semsa. Omudi ye perfume, candles, incense, tofinis anyama no. Into no one who's omudi moja pa no me suman Baffour, because they are warriors and their work is to protect and to defend. The one who's not to mra omuku no, omo petofia omo nko marketing go to be. Suman Baffour. Say a two-way cycle. What the bar now abeji? Benkum jari different so jari. Say package. Odo ba na wo ye bibia ma na wo ji bibia ye de. Nyakopon kra mpo no. Say asa na wo benya bibia free ni say wakoto abone mpaya nsa. Wan na ka sa akire. Asa na wo be wi ase na o ma wo soul e ma wo ye life. Dey na odi ya. You activate.
Free because the soul is there before you activate it, right? When the body is built, almost in a minute, this only to Abofrandi and Utia answer so no de Yamedema.
And you know, Unim, the bidda.
You're watching the biggest and the largest. As I told you, I will ask him a lot of questions because his topic is huge. We need to be sure of what we are going to discuss. I welcome you once again. Like I said, I appreciate your presence on this platform. So I'm taking him straight into his topic. We are now going to treat your topic. All these
for the
ones,
prelims.
Randoms they call it. And it's how it is.
Almost crowd that. You pedestal no pedestal.
The highest. Almost microphone in so We are watching the biggest. Okay, so we are going straight into his topic, and his topic is scientific interpretations of African spiritual system. That's a huge topic. So please take us through.
Okay. There are two main forces in this universe. And there's the positive and the negative. Is either to attract or to repel. Now, there are some herbs, when you bath those herbs, it attracts, they call it Nkrima. It brings good luck into your life. It brings very positive things. It brings positive people into your life. Those energies, they work, they are all based on a science called centripetal force. That's a centripetal force. Centripetal force is when the energy is being attracted to you. But then, the ones that are for protection, that repels negative things, that repels all positive things, they work with a force called the centrifugal force. Mm-hmm. You understand? Now, say for instance, this is water, and I'm making prayers, and I want to pour libation. Now, when you pour libation, the reason why we pour libation is this. It's any word that you say from your mouth, it's a seed. You can say something very positive to somebody, and then the person will become so enlivened and so emboldened and so empowered to go and do things that normally they will not be able to do within their own right. And you can say something to somebody, and then it can demoralize that person for the rest of their lives. When you say something to somebody, you have sown a seed in their head or in their spirit. So when I'm pouring the libation, the liquid has a symbolism in libation. Now, it's either we're using palm wine, we are using ordinary water, we are using gin, we are using brandy, we are using whiskey. We use things that are of a liquid nature. The reason why we use things that are of a liquid nature is because the liquid represents the rain. So when I'm praying and I'm invoking these words, which are the seeds that I'm sowing into the cosmos, it represents the farmer who has gone to till the land, and then they have put in their seed. When the farmer tills the land and puts in the seed, the farmer expects the rain. The farmer expects the rain for the seed to germinate and bear fruit in abundance. So when I am invoking these words in the cosmos and I'm pouring the sips, what I'm doing is I'm reenacting the rainfall on the seeds that I've sown in the cosmos. So the words cannot be seen, because once the words go out there into the cosmos, those words, they will form a coalition, they will coagulate. And then when you repeat the words for a long period of time, it crystallizes. Just like Muslims go, like in the morning you have 10,000, let's say 20,000 Muslims in one particular area, all going Allahu Akbar. Is 20,000 people with one voice shouting one sounds word, one mantra, sounds and vibration. So if you have millions of Muslims every day shouting Allahu Akbar, it creates crystallization in the cosmos. So the moment they say Allahu Akbar, the crystallized energy there, they tap straight into that. So as you keep pouring the libation, you keep pouring the water, and you keep reenacting the rain, and then you speak these words into the cosmos. What you are actually doing is you are creating a field of crystallized energy in the cosmos. So Once you finish with the libation, and then you create that crystallized energy in the cosmos, and then you signify or you seal it with the water, the words that you've spoken, when it begins to manifest, when it begins to come to fruition, the water that you use, the liquid that you use, will become the base for it to feed off. A seal. Whatever you do on earth is approved in the heavens. Whatever you do in the heavens is approved here on earth. So let's say, for instance, you want to make a bath. Maybe, okay, somebody is sick, and then the person has malaria, and the quickest thing that comes into our head is neem tree, right? Okay, so the neem tree has no power to cure malaria. Ask me why. The neem tree has no power to cure malaria. The neem tree is only a vessel. There is something in the neem tree, and those things, that thing is embedded in the leaves. So if I pluck the leaves of the neem and I cook it, I don't chill the herbs together with the water. After it is cooked, you take the trash out, and then you only have pure liquid. Now, the trash that you've taken out, the leaves, is only a vessel that contains the chlorophyll. It's only to hold the chlorophyll. So when you boil the water and then the chlorophyll comes out of the leaves, what you are actually looking for is the chlorophyll to drink, to give you that healing. But what if I tell you that what heals you is not the chlorophyll? It is the chemical composition within the chlorophyll. Because the chlorophyll could have magnesium, it could have potassium, it could have calcium, it could have selenium, and this selenium and all this calcium or these things that I've spoken of, they all have their molecular bonding, their molecular structure. It's either 2 molecules of that, 3 molecules of that, 5 molecules of this, 3 atoms of that. So those are the formulas, molecular formula, the molecular bonding. You know, when you put all of them together and then you bath, it creates a molecular bond around you. The atoms create a molecular bond around you. Some molecular bond around you, no, and only aura, no. So big dry na say oh dry na BBC na oh dry na ne how ni nyina to twa no there be a drone na dry no the chemical reaction a drone na dry a chemical reaction anya magical a draw a kika bomb motor ni sa nemo a chemical reaction. If you don't know how to interpret chemical reaction, you see it as magic.
Wait, your monoculous ni o chemical reaction ni me enfame. Tobo sesiano woka libation no. Libation is something that is really trending, and everybody is pouring libation. Oh, okay. And so it's a very important topic. We need to take your time. Don't I don't pour libation, me personally, but I know a bit about it because I have learned about these things. When you are pouring water, what it attracts is different from when you pour palm oil, you know. When you pour wine, and when you pour champagne, and when you pour schnapps, and when you pour whiskey, everything, all of these things you are pouring attract different things. Because when you pour water, it doesn't attract ants. You can pour mineral, and it will attract ants. And everything you cause an effect. Anything you pour and anything it attracts, it comes to you. So if libation and then neem tree is okay, tell us, why don't we all pour water and we pour different things? Because you know they attract different things. I know personally that when you pour palm oil, you are causing trouble. You know. Mm-hmm. If libation is okay, why don't we all pour water? When we are in trouble, it's different what we pour. When we are thanking them, it's different when we pour. And when anything you pour to will attract what you want. Why is it so?
Okay. First and foremost, water is the universal solvent. Water is universally accepted in all ritual forms.
Exactly.
Water is universally.
So why are you people not pouring only water?
The reason why. No, there's a reason for it.
So tell us.
Every energy or every spirit or every entity, they all take water because water is where life began from. Life began from water. You understand? So When we use the gin, when we use the alcohol, when we use the palm oil, when we use the perfumes, is to create or to cause a particular effect.
Which is
depending on what you want. It's especially for the oils, they attract. With the palm oil, if I'm doing a ceremony that has to do with evil incantations or people with a bad eye, what we call before we use red oil.
To do them what?
To what they are looking for. If, like, say for instance, you are getting a lot of, like, somebody's getting a lot of accidents, somebody's getting a lot of, get into situations that they are getting blood, coming out. Like, you get yourself into situations where it's harmful or hurtful. When you use the palm oil now, the palm oil is a substitute. Palm oil is a spiritual substitute for blood.
When we pour these things, as we are pouring, we know who we are pouring that thing to. Who are we pouring that thing to?
Okay. Everybody and what they pour to.
What do you pour? Who and what do you pour palm oil for?
No, but that one is my secret.
It's your secret. Why are you sitting here? You don't know where you are sitting. You've been following me and looking for me for 2 years. Are you saying you were a stranger here?
No.
You might not be here before, but you know here.
Let me break it for you.
Better.
Let me break it for you. Everybody or every system that you practice or every form of spirituality, because even in the traditional system, there are different houses, right? You have the house of Ogun, the house of Shango, the house of Tigari, the house of Mamisi, the house of Mamisika, the house of Akonedi. There are different houses. And all the different houses, there are peculiar things that the different houses require, or some different, the different houses really use in their work. In some of the houses, they use perfume because those spirits are in that category. Some of the houses, they use gin because those spirits, they love gin. There are spirits that also love palm wine. There are spirits that so exactly. Almost to say you preferences. I said
fast when it comes to Bonnie.
Bonnie, the quickness of the Bonnie number depending on first and foremost no nipano. Because you can have a spirit that is quick to do evil, but if you, the person, you are not an evil person, it will make that spirit slow.
Which one do you use in front of Doctor who's we need to do?
And no, you the breaky case. And it sounds good. You to me, I don't say Safwana, you do two prunes. As Safwana, you did give me one.
Bad Jane Ben and Modest Adocum, so young can
Well, share, but the doctor, no, a friend Kumnam. Kumnam. Anu kum na anu so enam. Edu kuma de and the sense of the sin adiano. What I say, but the fantidocuno is used basically for curses.
To do curses.
No, curses.
To take
any way, any style. The other way around. Curses either to break, to cause, to do, to subtract, to add, to divide.
I'll call you back. We will talk about things that we use, and we will be punching you. The topic today is very important, so I'm not going to be stubborn.
Please.
I'm just going to be a woman of peace as I am. So, right now, everybody has to pour libation. Now you are here. Obia, go and pour libation. And everybody is pouring libation. The person will be pouring libation. Like I said, myself, I don't do. But when they shuffle people with it, I sort it. Like you said, the key I edit, and one day. So, but now people are pouring libation. They don't know whether they are facing the east, they are facing the west, based on what you are doing. But almost you'll be pour libation. So now everybody is pouring libation. How dangerous is this? How safe is this?
Okay, you see, in spirituality, the first time I had an encounter with, like trying to get to research on spirituality, I set up some candles and incense and I put a white scarf on my head. So I didn't know what I was doing, but I was trying to get into a certain space. Then my father came in and was like, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Okay, this is what I want to." He said, "No, you need to find a master." That's what my father told me. In all spiritual matters, it's either you find a master to guide you, or if you have your own oracular system, then you can consult your own oracles for them to guide you. So it's always dangerous to assume in spirituality that what you are doing is right. It's always dangerous to just go out of your way to just do certain things, you understand? It's always best if you have somebody as a guide that can guide you, that can position you, that can even see through you and see what will be the best form of libation for you. Because the libation is not only in just pouring of water on the ground. What I say, say if you go to the Hindu temple, they have the Shiva Lingam. The Shiva Lingam, pouring water on the Shiva Lingam is libation. When Muslims do the ablution, that is their libation. So the libation comes in so many different forms, but the process of incantation and pouring of whatever liquid, in my opinion, in my experience, the safest and the best thing to do is to use the universally accepted solvent, which is water. Which is the universally accepted. This one is clear. This one has no taste. It has no color. It has no perfume. It has no scent. Manipulate. It cannot manipulate. This is pure. It's as plain as it is. It's as plain as it is. So based on the situation you want to create, because in all this spiritual system, it's basically you like a scientist trying to create. Let's leave this one and then get into your thought. I will call you to come again. Promise you will come. I'm here with you. You will come, so we talk about libation. Because I know when you are pouring the libation, where you face matters. I don't pour, but I have learned. And people put sand in Awuah, and that's where they pour the libation. Awuah, and when you put it in the red, it will attract something different. When you put it in the black, it will attract something different. Some people put sea sand in this Awuah. I would want you to come so we talk about me. There are things I don't want to talk about it, because if I talk about it right, you people will come after me, because I will hit your end too and you will come and suffer me with problems. So today you will be in your topic, but I plead you come one day to come and teach only libation, where to face, and because whatever you say, people will still do it. And me, I want everybody to be safe. Whatever the person is doing, be safe in it. Know what you are doing, understand it. That's my only bit. There will be but be safe and know what you are doing, understand and know what it will attract. So you don't call things for yourself. So because they love the libation thing, and me personally, I don't want to teach that. So you will come and I will beside you the questions, so you teach them. So get into the topic: scientific interpretations of African spiritual system. Fanny say, "Oh, 10 minutes." Say, "See, I no bidding a channel on Atoha." I'm not going to interrupt, but teach us and let's all those watching us understand this huge topic. Okay, so like I was saying, that to continue from what I was saying, everything that we see in this universe, everything that is animated, everything that is an animate object has energy in it. And when I talk about animate objects, I'm talking about natural objects: trees, stones, rivers, animals, crystal stones. Everything that is of an animate object or has an animate nature has this power. And this power that is within all these animate objects is what actually makes it a reflection of God. Now, if you put the herbs, if you put the trees, if you put the stone, the sun, the this, the that together, and you are trying to make a ceremony, or you are even trying to cook medicine for somebody to drink to cure them of their diseases. Now, the reason why the person has a disease, is that the universe has created each and everyone in perfect alignment. When your mind, your body, and your spirit and your soul is in perfect alignment, you are at ease with the universe. When your mind, your body becomes distorted, when you become sick, it means you are not in perfect alignment. So then you are diseased. You are no more at ease. Your body is not at ease. Your mind is not at ease. You have become diseased. So for us to program you back to being at ease with the universe, we need to find the right components of vitamins, right components of selenium, the right components of the proteins, the right components of all the different chemical compositions to put it together. And those chemical compositions are found in the herb. So when the herb is brewed or the brew is made for you to drink, based on the deficiency in your body, if you have iron deficiency, and I put 10 different herbs together, the main deficiency in your body, if it's iron deficiency, it is the herb with the iron deficiency that is actually going to activate your, the production of all these, how do you call it, hemoglobin. This animate energy that moves the universe, or that makes everything come alive, is what we call the Holy Spirit. Some people call it the Holy Spirit, some call it the Holy Ghost, some call it prana, some call it ki, some call it sum. In Africa, we call it sum. And then all these things, they come together based on you, the human being, because you have the positive and the negative in you. So based on where you tune your spirit, you're either going to get positive vibration or negative vibration. Because why? Because when you say something over for a long period of time, when you create sound over a long period of time, sound will now condense into heat. Now the heat will now condense into electrical charges. These electrical charges will be absorbed by the positive and negative receptors under your brain. And you begin to, every time you want to put negative words out, the positive and negative receptors in your brain is already working. Everything that you say, your body will react to it. Because every sound that comes from your mouth, it will convert into heat that will later convert to electrical charges that your body has to absorb. So just basically, we have to be very careful, like even during the libation. Once you are there in spirit and you are invoking, you are actually creating heat. Then that heat is going to convert into electrical energies. Your body is going to absorb it first before it begins to react in the universe. So be careful where you are standing, how you are standing, why you are even doing the incantation in the first place. So these are things that we need to really learn and understand how they move and why they move the way they are. Because the universe has given us all that we need, but we just have to understand the science of it, especially from the African traditional perspective, using our language. Because when we talk about the language, we're talking about Sekasa. Everyone say A, can't A. In English, A, but the letter, the word that you see, the A, it has a sound, which is A. A is a cosmic sound. B is a cosmic sound. D is a cosmic sound. So if it is Maame Grace, it's A, E, G, R, A, K, E. So these are the sounds, the cosmic sounds. When they come together in the physical form is what we say Maame Grace. But in the spiritual form, we are not going to say Maame Grace. You're going to say e. That is the sound, is the universal sound. So these are all things that are out there for us that the universe has blessed us with. We need to really go back, study the herbs, study how these animals move. Why do this animal move like this? Why do this animal move like that? Why does the snake is the only animal that keeps growing in strength, in height? Why is it that the snake is the only animal that keeps shedding its skin? Because the snake is an animal that stands in a very unique position. Why is the snake so hated in all religions? Some religions have even made it into deities that they worship, and some religions have also made it into the devil incarnate. Because every communication between you and the universe is based on your spinal cord. The spinal cord is where all the information is. All your protons, your electrons, your neutrons are all connected to the spinal cord. That is your information center. And that is the snake in you. The snake in us is exhibited or is represented by the spinal cord. And the communication between heaven and earth actually takes place through either your crown chakra or through your
Kundalini.
Sanity. So from the base chakra or the feet, the chakra, the soul chakra, and then the crown chakra. The crown chakra receives direct information from the heavenly realms. And then your soul chakra receives information directly from the earthly realm.
It charges you.
It charges you. It's now so hene bia or share a hinche no. The reason why hene share a hinche our hene no channel esusun obia and they say the king in his full glory no is supposed to be the one with the highest level of elevation. Saying na or hene kra put tenasia e di chinie den esine. So do you know why we put the sun this thing the umbrella on the, you see when you look at the pictures of the saints, look at Saint Joseph, Saint Michael, Saint this, Saint that, all of them they have a halo, the sun on them. So the king is the direct representation of God Supreme, the sun itself in this full glory. Since na ohini tinasia edi chinyeni sin so enye se beye ewiana ehinu no. It is to represent that he is a divine being. It's a decided any sin is what it's a representation of the hello. Intina ewiano eba down pena ye dum chinye. Because ewiana eden ato. So all these things are things that have meaning. I am normal sorry. So today we are feeling bored. So let's do this. Today let's create something. No, they were.
So right now, the African spirituality we see on social media everywhere, the ones people are practicing, and all that, and this one that we were interpreting, we were giving us the interpretations. No, how do we balance this? Because the ones we see, it's not like that.
Obiane the level.
No, she say Obiane the level, but we are here for our continent and our people. So how do we make them to understand this?
First, they must first and foremost, like I always tell when I meet my priests and priestesses and all those people, I tell them, say, Paul Ambantem, so Osien Decanfo. Paul, the reason Osien Decanfo, he say, Paul didn't come to do the work of Omomudi Kamba, the Juma for a buy. So our work, me and my people and my friends and the family that I have, what we actually do is try and we go to the shrines to teach. So that is why the International Human Rights Commission gave me that authorization as a public relations officer for the Committee on African Indigenous Religions here in Ghana. And my work is to do exactly this dialogue that we are having. So we've been going around the shrines. We've been meeting some of the spiritual heads. We've been trying to find ways for them to conscientize, as I said, because he said, a communal, a siwuswa. I was say, oh, you don't ban spirit now, so we or say interview no.
I have from Namin Quiet interview.
Spirit now, so we or say a friend in interview no. The interview now, ebe hu ne rank, ebe hu international community will swag na na say what I say or say do connect quantity. There be spirit no say interview no because it's two-way cycle. So spirit near me be on so say the paint. Yes, the here no here no say can actually spirit no. What I say now fe there wa kire oyen ni say na so there be we atwam because we no yet the spirit. You see no modern people we no atwam yen ni say. We say because at the end of the day, through ebisa ya anyone edinya Google, you know edinya computer, a computer. What I say, and computer. But then one we edinya sanya man. So how do we develop it from that? And because spirits, no, most of them are old spirits. On my brain. They need to be revived because you said Nipa na Kasano, you need revival.
Because they don't want to die. Anything you tell them to do, they will do it to be relevant. Exactly. You are watching the biggest. I've always told you technology is spirituality. I've told you this. Right now, no. Do you have a shrine?
Yes.
What do you do there?
I do divinations. I teach people. And
so when at all are you people going to talk to this your shrines about e-levy?
We do pay all the taxes. We do pay anything that government requires of us.
We pay, but the e-levy is killing us, and you know it is a car. Obi a wode kaso when to ya unye ni papa na de ka otua. Into what can this spirit? They can't do anything to help the country. They can't pay a e-levy for us. Why? I want to know.
The spirit does not do the work of human being. They don't do what we are supposed to do or what we can do. I have to say we need job spirit into me your war by anymore. Until now, who about when you call no forget and last it. Because
but say yeah juma
by last.
And the last kura mo dey mo fa nye juma na 11 in twam and last year you be ko be before
you see, one thing is if you go to South Africa or if you go to Benin, if you go to places that their spiritual system is working for them, no, those are the top. Those are the very top. They make provisions for that. But then when you get into a situation where there's a national event and then the traditional people are not even recognized, where even the other religions that came to meet the traditional religions, they have their national ensemble, they have their national days, their national shrines, their national cathedrals, and we don't have a national shrine. And then these traditionalists are even speaking on behalf of everybody to be able to at least recognize. Your national shrine. They say all these people who are promoting for all these national cathedrals and the national mosque and all this, I can tell you say 80% of them droso. They can't secret droso, but they don't want to be seen. Because it's not a flashy thing. It's not something that people want to be associated with. But they will come when they need the power in the middle of the night, 12 o'clock midnight. They come. I'm telling you.
You are watching the biggest. Your time no call. What promises or treaty?
I'm here with you.
So right now, give us your last words, advice. What you need to tell people how they should look at African spirituality. Like me, I said, just know what you are doing, know what it will attract, and know where it will end you. If it's okay, we all have a way of looking at things. So their safety is what I'm preaching. So I tell them to gain their consciousness and liberate themselves, because when you have your consciousness, you are sitting before somebody, you know what's going to happen. So your last words, advice to them, especially those pouring libations. And I conform no social media no so no as una o kan say o ma bonbon no o mu nyina for advice ne mom na we are dey ashebo say wo beba biom na do social media account.
Okay, me that say thank you for the opportunity. What I have to say to the universe, to the general public, to everybody watching is spirituality is not a race, and it's not something you carry on your shoulders for fun. Everybody has a system that is conducive to them. Until the man share me star na me no a revelation. And I say me nyanisa. Obi susu die no nso no a bisa and a chere ne say onya ne sa. Until no obia wo style a what I say odibehu ne nyankopon. Obia wo style odibehu ne ho. Obia wo kwan obefa so obi ho no obedware ahaban. Because me room for 1 year. When I started, I was in the bush, Equapin Mountains, strictly 1 year. Yen who light, yen who be bia, yen did journey bia, or less what was growing in the bush. So that is the direction that came to me. Obo also I need a different level. Into the bia who be bia, even post and sample now be gua. I will say who said be say guns and I will say unya penny be obechirel. You have to know because you cannot reverse anything you put out in spirituality. That is what people don't know. Anything you put out, you can't reverse it all. It's already established. And so before you move, before you want to be seen as a spiritualist, especially I'm talking to the social media gurus, but there's a lot of social media gurus right now and that people look up to. And these are, people who need to be more purposeful in guiding their students and in guiding whoever is looking up to them, and then let them know say idea we before I go to anamo I will say will be sir what I say yen to anamo soon one anamo sa keke, because you can enter into some realms obeka but my realms you are who are there as you are not supposed to see a spirit be secret the moment I go who sa there no me for life. So into a level ne category na yenya ye ho ahobrase na yembie yakomam, because everything you need to know, if you are sincere in this spiritual path, if you are sincere and truthful to yourself, your soul will guide you through dreams. Your soul will guide you through dreams, because your soul existed before any deity. Your soul existed before any power on earth. Your soul existed before the river, the water, the sun, the moon. Because your soul is the direct representation and replica of God. You, as you see me, this one is flesh. Once I see you with all your pretty self, it doesn't mean anything. That is not you. But the soul in you is the God in you. The soul in me and is the God in me, and that power in me existed way before the universe was created. That power was also in you way before the universe. So we should go more into soul searching. Search your soul. Then I'll difference through by. Now, ukwampo wo dia no we ye will lie ana. Sani I don't know we ye will lie ana. Because I remember when I was in Sufism, you know, I was doing lots of mantras. Bit mantras, 6 hours, 7 hours, a bit mantras. Some of my friends, when they see, they say, we saw this angel. I saw this prophet. Me body na motiana mi hu.
Uya mantra hu mo.
I motiana mi hu. No my former kwashe bush. Me promise me ye mantra la haban mo say, omo di ma kwashe baby no ma fakukuo bi, no ma tititi haban bi. Till that time I catch my malam say, I dey na me bo motiana mi hu. I say, I was the only fruit here then.
What the mochi and fish rubai?
The only fruit wood here no. The wood here no line no here because me papa no. Always say because say me na na near Bantima hene. Inti ne akonya na we fie the pudio no dey over 400 years. And I ti and a share sanity. Inti no
e bi mpa wona ade akonya ne ba no we
sanity inti style bia we ye bia no. Baby a uti no share no. E ho na be ende. Inti no also bia to me.
Me brass of no ma be break. Yo, with social media handles.
Nana Sufi on Facebook. You know, let's start talking Nana Sufi, NANASUFI. So once we get on social media on Facebook, anything that you need from there, I will direct you from there.
Okay, thank you so much. You've promised to.
Oh, I'll be here.
Okay, so Abusia, me fani bra life amon kana mun bisa no more questions. Mo amope libation no. Mo kone de shafa mo ana mo de abe gu mi so. Nti mo ya fani bra life na mun bisa no more personal questions. Wa promise say obeba. Nti thank you so much Nana. Thank you so much for coming. We appreciate you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for watching Revelations. Yeah dear, we are not against anything. Obi any truth, ye truth. But the ayekanyina with safety. The reason you have to gain your consciousness so you are able to understand and know what is good for you. Shalom.